Hello, welcome to ELX Pro and welcome to this course. And the main goal of this course is to explain to you Elixir and LiveView and give you more details about what's happening with LiveView and how you can be more productive with this language and especially with LiveView. I've been working with LiveView since that we have the Phoenix 1.4 where you had to install the LiveView as a lib in your project. So the main problem was, to be honest, at the beginning, I didn't believe that LiveView was amazing. And what happened? Now we are on Phoenix 1.7. And one thing that's been happening is that things changed a lot. We started with LiveView having the stateless and stateful component. It was kind of a messy because people usually organize the code using the mount, and people didn't understand. Me as well, I didn't understand how LiveView worked, fully how LiveView worked. And another thing is that I've been working with LiveView around 3 years. And I noticed is that if you understand the PPC method that I'm going to explain to you, creating a LiveView page will be simpler, and also creating real-time applications and create applications where people can read easily and quickly to scale and more quickly will be much more straightforward. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna share my screen now. So what do we have here at the beginning? So we're gonna start creating an Elixir application with LiveView. XP checks new PPC method. I like starting using the binary ID. Because I'm new with Elixir, I know nothing, or I don't know how to start Elixir application. So I'm gonna share with you this article where I teach how to set up your local machine to use LiveView, Elixir, Docker, all these stuff. If I spend our time here explaining this, our course will take too much time. But you will see all the configurations that I've been using for around 3 years as an Elixir engineer as well. So here we're going to start the application, and then we're going to start understanding the PPC method. If you want to learn more about Elixir, I highly recommend you to click on the link below where I have my Elixir course, where you can learn basics of Elixir until deploy a live application, thinking about distributed system using Kubernetes, Google Cloud, and especially, as I mentioned, LiveView. But let's go ahead here. What is the PPC method that I created? So our app started. We're gonna see more details, but let's go ahead here and understand the PPC method. When I started my career as an Elixir engineer, and especially when we were talking about the LiveView, what happened was we have a LiveView page and we have the components, thinking that this is a component. And when I use sections explaining LiveView, people usually think that a component are processed, but it is not. The PPC method is that every page here we have the components. We have components. We're going to learn how to create components. But every LiveView page and everything that you're seeing here are process. It's a process. Every page is a process. And when you understand it, thinking about pages and components in LiveView will be much more straightforward. Let me explain. Let me just say that this is a process. And when we're talking about process, we have to talk about sometimes OTP and also the DIN server. Basically, every LiveView page are a DIN server. And when you have page, you have some information like the HTML here, for example, a text. And every page, when you have a process, this, everything that we have here are the state. When you understand it, that you have a process, and because you have a process, and the process is a LiveView page, in the LiveView page you have the components, and you have a process ID, creating a LiveView page will be much more straightforward. Because what happened now is people are coming from PHP, people are coming from the React, and things in Elixir is a bit different. It's much more simpler, but it's different because you need to change your mind to think about Elixir and process as well. And process are not difficult to understand. Let's walk through the code. PPC method, as I mentioned. Thank you, Isaac. And right here, I mentioned I shared with you an article to understand how you can set up your local machine. And as I mentioned, I have Elixir Course explaining everything, how to build LiveView applications. And now, next Acto set up. So if you don't understand Acto, I'm gonna walk with you the Acto and other stuff. But actually, take focus on LiveView. And right here, when we start the app, what we are doing here, we are executing a terminal, and at the same time, we start our app. When we start our app, actually, what we have here is the localhost for 1000. This is the app that we start. And let's walk through this code for a little while, but I'm going to give you more details about the PPC method on the next class. The main focus here is just spending maximum 12 minutes explaining everything. But this is how you start your app. After starting your app, you will have the test folder, the mixed text, mixed EXS as well. You have all the dependencies here. So if you don't understand Elixir, I'm going to recommend some videos for you on this tutorial as well. And right here, you start creating the test. And as I mentioned to you, I'm going to explain the PPC method for you. Let's start seeing this one. And probably the next class, we're going to dig into more details on LiveView applications and PPC method as well. After understanding the PPC method, everything's going to be straightforward to create Elixir application. So let's start just one LiveView page. We can say something like live. I'm going to give you more context why we have the LiveView as well. For example, when we have the Phoenix 1.4, we created the socket. After creating the socket, you can create real-time applications. It was easy comparing with React and other language 3 years ago, but LiveView, it's amazing to build real-time applications. And after working over than 20 projects in production, it's incredible technology to build scalable apps and straightforward to build app as well. So To create a LiveView application, a LiveView page, we can do something like PPC simple, and after that, what we can do is PPC Live. I'm not gonna create the index, but after that, let me give you some tips as well. When we have the route, we have as well something like Phoenix router, and we have the way that we can handle with it. But also we have like the put method and something more. But if we go to LiveView, as you can see, we have the router as well, and we have the live. Basically, everything that you use in Elixir, it's straightforward to access because you have alias and import method stuff. When we do it, it will explain to you how to create a router as well. As you can see, you have the PPC method web here, and when you go over to the PPC method, and when you go to router, we are using the LiveView router as well. And now, if we come over here, it will redirect us to a live folder. After this live folder, we can say PPC live.exe. We start a LiveView page. And it is not working, I think. Not working. Okay, so let's see it in more details. What we can do here is that we need to have the PPC method web, and after that, PPC live. And now, as you can see, if you see like controllers or something, you can see that we have this way. In our case, you can see that you will have this information right here. We need the live view. We can do the same, like here. And we started having a live view page. When we go to our browser, as you can see, it's complaining because we don't have the render. So if we go to PPC, we need to start using the render. And then we can say hi. Now, as you can see, we started having our page. We didn't walk through the project. And the most important thing, as I mentioned, everything is processed. When we go and when we use the syntax and do something like list, and we share ourselves, which is our process ID. We got our process ID. Now, when we see observer.start, so we have this window here, and when we go to process, and when we see our 786 process ID, as you can see, we have our process ID, which is our process. And in our process, we don't have the message for now. We have more information about the code, and we have the state. And at the end, as I mentioned, this is something similar to a Agent server. So for now, this is the most important. Next class, we're going to see more about pages and more resources. And we are going to see the components as well. I hope you enjoy this class, and this is very useful. And see you in the next class in our course. And do not forget that you have some links related to the ELX Pro as well. Bye-bye.